my name is Lexi, and today I will be giving you a tutorial on Renaissance hair and makeup. So if you're interested, let's begin. To start, I'm going to use the Sephora Best Skin Ever foundation, and the shade I have is 19.5p. You want to start with something as close to your skin tone as possible. And what I like to do is actually use like a makeup plate and just put a pump on there, and then that way I'm able to evenly coat my brush, and I just think it gives a more flawless application. You can use less foundation because of that, and I really love how it looks, so that's what we're gonna do. So in the Renaissance period, fair skin was preferred because it meant that you lived a life of nobility and you didn't have to work out in the sun. And women went to great lengths to achieve this, and it's really sad that that was the beauty standard, because people introducing toxins into their life just to achieve these standards, which I feel like is kind of the norm now. Like, a lot of people will go through very invasive surgery just to achieve beauty standards. So anyway, to achieve these looks of getting really fair skin, they would often use like alabaster in a form of a powder, or they would also use lead-based powders to lighten their skin, which is toxic. I also read that some women would use like flour to put on their face just because it was kind of a cheaper product to use. So today I am using the Colourpop Fly palette. To start, I'm just going to use a fluffy brush and go into the shade Hover, which is just a neutral brown. And another beauty standard at that time that is very different today was having a very large forehead. Women would actually shave back their hairline because having a larger forehead in that time was a sign of intelligence and beauty. And during the Renaissance period, the church actually had a very large role in setting the beauty standards for women. So makeup was very frowned upon by the church because it was seen as a method of sin for women to seduce men or to hide their true selves. But women still used it anyway, and they went with more natural looks. Very limited blush, but also having rosy cheeks was kind of what you see in that time period because these women had to hide it. And it's so interesting how impactful the church was on these beauty standards, but it makes sense. I mean, the church commissioning many artists who often depicted beautiful women and angels, so it makes sense that this became the beauty standard. And then just to help everything really blend seamlessly, I like to go in with a shade that's pretty close to my skin tone. So today I'm going to be using the NYX palette and this shade. They don't have shade names, so I'm just going to go in with this one. This one works for me really well. While light skin was very desired in this time period, women still wanted color to their skin, so they used blush, or kind of a concoction that created the blush effect. And this was done using either ground up flowers, vermilion, or even berries. And that is just so innovative, and it really makes me think of like lip stains or cheek stains because it kind of has that same effect. Very subtle and diffused look, but just brings liveliness back to your skin. I think I'm gonna kind of tap some on and then maybe use my finger or a sponge to kind of diffuse it a little. And I think I'm going to add this product to my lips as well, and then maybe top it with a lip gloss. But I think it is so funny that while the paleness and no makeup was the desired feature at that time, women still did it. They wore makeup, and I think it's so funny that like they wore blush and lip products, and I just think that men at the time didn't know that these women were wearing makeup. So to continue kind of having a diffused makeup look, I will be using the Hourglass palette, but you definitely could stop here. I would just set with powder in certain areas and you're good to go. But I want to add a little more to it. So there is like a bronzer shade. I'm going to add just a hint of it because I feel like it helps to create dimension and depth in your look. And while I know this wasn't used at the time, I think it will be barely noticeable. So I'm just gonna put a lip gloss on really quick because I do find the stain really dries my lips out. It's beautiful, but it dries them out. And today I'm using the Lawless Forget the Filler, and this one is, I think, Rosey Outlook. And this one is so beautiful. I wish I got the full size of it. I had never tried these before, so I really wanted to get the mini first, but I love it so much. I unfortunately do not like the wand. It is so tiny. If you have the full size, let me know. The wand is bigger. So I'm just going to set with powder before I continue, and today I'm using the Charlotte Tilbury setting powder. Just to help achieve the glowing natural look, I'm going to go in a bit with this highlighter shade and then set with some powder as well. Alright, and then we're going to finish with another round of some setting spray, and then I'll add some mascara. Now we can move on to the hair. So I'm not wearing my hair like this, I just had it back for doing my makeup, and the curls are looking good, so I hope this goes as how I envisioned it. I'm gonna add a little bit of hair oil first, just because we will be doing some intricate braids and buns, so I just want the hair to look great before we mess with it. And one of my absolute favorite hair oils is the Kerastase Hair elixir. I am extremely disappointed because they actually reformulated and they made the bottle size less, but you're paying a lot more for it, so I will not be buying this in the future. I'm so disappointed. If you know any hair oils like this, please let me know. I just like to rub it in my hands and then run it through my hair. And then kind of scrunch it in there on the ends. And then I like to like smooth down the top just to get those little frizzies. So I'm thinking like a nice chunky braid on this side, and then maybe like a headband braid, and then it meets like in a bun in the back. I don't know, we'll see how this goes. I also have some fun pins as well to use. So I think I'll start with the headband kind of braid. So during the Renaissance, very elaborate hairstyles were very common, and that was just kind of the norm that women did, which I think was awesome. Of course, I don't think it should be the norm, but I would love to see more elaborate hairstyles just day to day. I think it's so fun. So I'm just gonna braid this piece and then kind of bring it across as a headband. But yeah, the hairstyles were very elaborate, so they did a mixture of braids and buns and many accessories. This was a sign of wealth. And this one's gonna be kind of like a very chunky braid, and I'm gonna make it very loose. Beauty was often used to divide social classes, which I feel like is still kind of the case, but it's harder to tell us. Whereas in that time, like if you didn't have fair skin, you know, if you were sunburned or had a tan, it was very obvious that you were not nobility. Okay, and then I'm gonna grab some from the back over here to kind of incorporate into that bun. Okay, so I'm actually going to redo this braid and do a Dutch braid. I did secure the headband one in place, so I think a Dutch braid would just, you'd be able to see it because my hair is so dark, so we're gonna do that instead. Alright, I feel like you can see this braid a lot better. And I think this crown one, I'm just gonna move a little higher up. Just a little, like right there. Alright, and then I'm gonna take like this piece of my hair because I still want some of the curls in the back down, so I think I should do less. So I want to work this like into a bun with this braid. I'm just gonna twist it around. Alright, so this is how it looks, and then this is the back. So I just kind of took this braid and some hair over here, incorporated it into a bun, and just pinned it in place. So I think I'm going to use some hairspray to kind of tame some of these flyaways, and then I have some fun pins that I think I'll either put in the braid or on the side here. So I have these fun little star pins, which I usually use around Christmas, but I think this will be great. One little pearl one, and then one little like gem. So I think I'm going to do some of the stars on this side. And then these two I think I want to like incorporate into the braid, so I'm going to try and do that without messing it up. Oh, that's perfect. And then should I do this one higher, like here, or lower? So then I'm just gonna refresh the bottom a little. Alright, so here's the final hair and makeup look. Alright, so I'm gonna go put my dress on and you can see the full look.